Good morning and welcome to Viva Cafe con Leche. I am Dr. Lori Monaco with Align Yourself Inc. I am the Badass Buddha. I am a life coach specializing in transformation and mindfulness practice. And I am coming to you from Southern Connecticut.
Hola, buenos días, mi gente. Namaste. I am La Margarita, a spiritual and creative healing life coach. And thank you for expanding on that. Spirituality is just finding your inner self, your inner child, discovering the self-loves, the self-knowledge, the self-acceptance, and the creative healing is because I'm an artist through art, through drawings, through writing. And I help you develop certain things regarding that. That's what I do. So thank you, Lori, because, I never did that. I am a writer.
What I do?
Author. I am so proud of this book. So for those who own it, including you, Lori, thank you for delving into it.
Do purchase it. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful book.
I am the Gladiator Guru coming to you from Tampa, Florida. Buenos dias and welcome to Viva Cafe con Leche.
Am I on your share? I can't remember. I'm trying to do it. Did you share yours yet?
I started watch party. So good morning, my little sister Janet. Good morning, Stephanie Hartmayer. Good morning, Carmen Nieves. Buenos dias and welcome to this beautiful Tuesday morning.
How is it beautiful? Is it beautiful down in Tampa?
Yeah, it's already hot. I have 2 fans on here in my sanctuary.
You don't have air conditioner in your sanctuary, do you?
No, because it's screened in, so it's not enclosed. I was thinking maybe I should just put plexiglass all around and put an air conditioner, but it defeats the purpose of listening to the birds.
Yes, that's true. What about like in the summertime, like when in the midst of the summertime, you get one of those portable air conditioners and you just put some plastic on the, the screen, so you just can close it and then you can roll the plastic up. So.
Yeah, I have to do something because the rains we've been getting have been very fierce and they've been wetting in back here. So I got to move the couches away and so I'm having a hard time. That's why I was like debating whether to put something on it. So yeah, so I have to do something because I like to sit out here, but sometimes it's so damn hot, I can't stand it. So yes, what's today's topic?
Today's topic is, are you a shoe whore?
Yes, are you a shoe whore? But first we're going to start because I went ahead of myself, Miss Monaco. So this...
No, it's fine. I know you, I was going to lead you back there, so it's totally fine.
Yeah.
By all means, go right ahead.
My cup says, it is what it is.
Oh my God. You know how many people get pissed off about that? I love that expression. It is what it is. But I actually read an article where people get pissed off by that expression. They're like, what does that mean? It is what it is. It's like, but it is. I mean, what
it is. It is what it is. And then at the bottom, I got these mugs. I got 3 of them for Christmas, like 5-6 years ago. My daughter Tiffany gave them to me. And on the bottom of this one, it's a spiral, which is my favorite symbol. Good morning, Linda. Linda says, good morning, sunshines. But this is, remember, I've been adding it up. Yesterday, I added up the names with the shots of mugs I've gotten. So I'm still counting, ladies. So remember, hashtag Taza de Café Challenge, hashtag Viva Cafe con Leche.
Yes.
Take a picture, a selfie, either with you or just a mug, and send it to me. You can send it, inbox me, DM me that. And today I am drinking, and I didn't bring, it's from New Orleans.
I'm having so much trouble.
What is that famous coffee with the, I got it, where they sell the beignets. That's awful, but it's a New Orleans coffee.
Okay.
It's made with
New Orleans love.
Yeah, I'm so sorry with that. But what is coffee to you, ladies? tell us, Linda, what is coffee? Janet, coffee is a gathering of family. It's a fiesta. It's a belonging. It's café con leche is like that staple every morning. It gives you the reason to get up and get things done. Okay, you celebrate. It's to console. It's just to have simple conversations or pour your heart out to one another. It, to me, that taza de café is that safety tree where people gather just because they know that whatever they speak on, that's where it stays. That's what that cup of coffee, that taza de café, offers people. That great conversation. So here is, and you know, here's to cafe because I am adapting, and I believe I'm adapting to my black coffee because it's still coffee. It's still my love. And like any changes that we make throughout life, it's always, we always rebel against it, even though we're the ones who initiated it. And although I knew that going into the Cairo thing with Lori, which is working phenomenal, that I would only have to drink black coffee. I was like, okay, but it was a very hard first week because I felt like I was betraying my café con leche. Like my friend, my confidant who's always been there for me. So, but I'm adjusting and it still does the same thing to me. And my palate is getting accustomed to it right now. So that's good. You know, I'm a big girl now. I got my big girl panties on because I'm drinking black coffee. You know, I always watch movies.
And we're hoping to lose our big girl size panties.
Yeah, this is true. No, I would watch movies and people would just pour black coffee and then keep walking and drinking. I'm like, how do they do that? They don't season it. They don't.
Not a big fan.
They don't offer love to it. Like black coffee is just like, okay, that's like when you're standing there waiting for a hug and a kiss to make you feel complete. So that black coffee is waiting for that sugar and that hot boiled milk to go into it. Linda says coffee is my must have to function. If I don't have my morning coffee, just move out of my way. Absolutely. 20 minutes after I'm up and I haven't had my coffee, I'm like the Tasmanian devil. And then I get a headache. So yes. So that's what café con leche is for me. I discovered it at a very early age, having it with my grandmother. Sometimes when I'm sitting alone and I'm frustrated and I have my coffee, it brings me back to some early childhood happy memories. So that's like, you know, it like takes me by the hand and reminds me you're okay. Don't let today happen, and then it takes me somewhere where it makes me feel good inside. So when I return, when my coffee's done, then I can see things a bit clearly. It's an invocation of good things from my past. So cheers with café con café. Enjoy your coffee this morning, mi gente.
I think the irony about it is that for most people, I think that coffee has an element of relaxation for them, but yet it's a stimulant. And even though people will say, oh, I don't feel the coffee, they feel the coffee, because if you didn't have the coffee, you would notice that it's not there. So like for me, coffee definitely gives me a boost. Like there's no question. You can always tell when I've had too much caffeine because I'm just like a crazy woman and like hyper constantly doing stuff. And I kind of like that because I get so much done. But at the same time though, it's like, you know, your idea of it, we both shared the same memories. It's like, for me, I think of that first in the morning, sometimes just by myself, even though I think of it as a camaraderie, you know, like a connection with people sitting down and have a cup of coffee and conversation. But there's also those moments where I love to steal, where especially when I'm on vacation, I just sit by myself with the coffee. And for me, like if I go on vacation, I have to have a balcony, or like like it really frustrates me to have a hotel that does not have an area where I can sit outside before everybody's awake. So that's why I like to go camping, because I have that space. And so usually like when I go somewhere, I'll ask, say, you know, do you have a balcony? You know, can you upgrade me? And I remember, so last year we went to New Mexico, and we stayed at this unbelievable resort hotel. And it was, and I mean, it wasn't like a high dollar resort hotel. It was just the property was so spectacular. And we got there and I was like, hey, you know, what could you do for us? You know, and I didn't realize that you could ask, like, you never stay settled with what you've booked. Did you know that? Like, whenever you fly somewhere, whenever you go to a hotel, you should never, like, you always ask. It never hurts to ask, because there's always a possibility for them to upgrade you with no extra charge. So I did that. I said to the guy, you know, hey, listen, blah, 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 you know, could you upgrade us? And then he's like, sure, because they had the room. And so we got this beautiful room with a sliding glass doors, bottom floor, and it walked out. And I was just like, oh my God, this is spectacular. So I would literally get up, and I had the coffee maker in the room, and I would make the coffee. And we even bought coffee. Like, we didn't just use theirs, we bought our own coffee. And I sat outside, everybody's still sleeping. And it was just, it's so peaceful to me having that cup of coffee, that moment for me to just collect myself and sort of, like, after whatever my morning routine is, you know, meditating, whatever, I just sit. And it's almost like a meditation for me too. It's definitely a mindfulness practice to just sit with the coffee. But I just like having it with you.
It's becoming one with yourself. It is magically orgasmic.
Yes, it is.
That's what it is. So shout out to Petey. Thank you, Petey. Hello, Maria. Iris says, me too, I get headaches. And Linda says she does as well. My brother Molleto, love you, Papa. And Petey, my cousin, the same thing, because we grew up like with the same family. She says, I drink coffee in a baby bottle. And Nancy Green says it's her dessert for the day. So yeah.
Did you say hi to Alitza? Because she's popped up on.
Yeah, Iris, that's my cousin. That's what I said.
Iris, okay. And then Carmen, did we say hi to Carmen? Good morning, Carmen. And good morning. And I thought I saw Ephraim. So just in case, because I was fiddling with my phone trying to get on so I can share it on my home page, but for some odd reason it's not allowing me to do so. So I'm very.
You can't hit share.
I don't know. It's not working.
Good morning, Lisa. Iris says, well, Iris, yeah, because we're the same. We could drink coffee all day and never feel wired.
It's weird. I've paid attention to it. Sometimes I could be, sometimes it doesn't do anything. And then all of a sudden I take like maybe one more cup and then that's it. Yeah. Some days if I drink after 3, I stay up. And then there's some days I drink after 3 and I don't stay up. I don't know. It's not consistent. But I'm very happy because I ordered more coffee. So I ordered from a company that I can't remember. Of course, I can't remember the name of the company. So the one difference that Margie and I have, so Margie emphatically is against flavored coffee, right? She's not a big fan of flavored coffee. And I am a big fan of flavored coffee. So I go looking online, trolling for like companies that sell different types of flavored coffee. And, I'm trying to go for the smaller companies. So I have been the last like month drinking New Hampshire Coffee Company. And the reason I drink it for so long is because I buy, the big packets and, I want to save on shipping. So I buy like 4 packets at a time, So that's what I did for this particular company. So we'll see how that goes. But I might mix it up and just order a bunch. But any company out there that is willing to send me some free samples that I can try and promote on the show, more than happy. Same thing with Margarita,
Yep, I like the espresso, the dark roast.
More than happy.
I like flavor because I don't like sweet coffee. I like my coffee dark and bitter. I do. So I don't even put that much milk in it. But whatever milk I put, it has to be boiled and foamed, but I like it dark and bitter. It's always coffee. Coffee's always like the main thing for me. But yeah, I think that is wonderful because you know what? Viva Cafe con Leche. Like people who say, oh, I don't drink coffee, I'll say, well, I can't trust you. I don't trust nobody who don't drink coffee, especially a good strong taza de cafe, especially to start your day in the morning. And I need my taza de cafe before I go to sleep, or I can't sleep. So I'll brew a cup of coffee at 1 o'clock in the morning if I'm still up doing something. And then I can easily 30 minutes to an hour later, take a shower and go to bed. And I'm praying that doesn't change as I age, because there's always changes with that. You know, I've met a lot of Puerto Ricans who are older than me that they can no longer drink coffee after 3, some of them after 12, you know.
Because it kept them awake? Because
it does something where, yeah, it doesn't allow them to sleep. And these are people who also drink from their baby bottles. So that's going to be a life-changing moment for me when I can't have my coffee.
Then don't believe that'll happen.
No, I don't. That's why I drink like.
But maybe it's a belief. Maybe it's a belief. Maybe they've heard so often from people saying, "Oh, after I got to a certain age, after I got to a certain age." My grandmother was she almost made it to 97 years old, and up to 96, she was drinking espresso at night, and it did not keep that lady awake. It didn't keep that lady awake all day. Like, she would sleep on throughout the day. So
that's good. Thank you for that, because yesterday I was listening to someone from India. I don't know what his name was, and he was saying that women have been brainwashed to believe that once they hit 50 and hit menopause, that it is the hardest thing to lose weight because we're not in our 30s anymore. And he says that is bullshit, to just focus on what you want to do, because the stigma has been around so long that we just give up. That no amount of working out or changing your eating lifestyle is going to help you lose weight. And and we got to call bullshit on that, because look at what we're doing now and we're losing. So yeah, my brother says the first cup makes my day. I can't be without my first cup of coffee.
But are you actually, see, I'm in perimenopause. I don't know what the hell's going on right now.
I know, I'm in full menopause.
Okay, and so we're both over 50. So we're both at different stages, and we're both losing weight on this program. So I've heard both ways. I've heard some women say I've lost a lot of weight. I've heard some women say it's harder to lose weight. But I think, like, I'm at the point now where I'm like, I'm tired of being this weight. Like, I'm not only tired of being this weight, but I'm tired of not being strong. It's not even just about losing the weight for me. It's about strength, you know? Like, I definitely want to get rid of, like, that's got to go. And I promised myself, because I have one tattoo on my whole entire body. Like, that's it. And here's the best part of all. And there's a reason I'm saying this. So when I lose the weight and I get the arms that I want, and I get the tone that I want, because I want the arm that does that kind of thing, you know?
Yeah.
I promised myself, because I want to get a tattoo on my arm. My one tattoo is, I got it when I was 19 years old, at a time when the only people who got tattoos
were bikers.
and I remember, because I wasn't, I mean, although I was technically, like, I wasn't a biker. I mean, I had my motorcycle license and stuff, and I hung out with people that rode motorcycles, but not Harleys necessarily. But I remember being in college, getting that tattoo, and it was like, it would make people stop in their tracks and be like, because I have it on my shoulder, people would be like, "Oh my God, is that a tattoo?" Because it was so uncommon, you know? And as everybody started getting tattoos, I kind of rebelled. I'm like, well, if everybody's getting them, I don't want any more, you know, because everybody has them, you know. And I actually can't stand mine, because it just doesn't even represent me. But that's my goal, is that when I get to the weight that I want to, which I know is going to be very soon, and then start, you know, slimming down and becoming more muscular, or toned, better choice of words. I love that. I love when women have that.
It's like a warrior badge.
And especially when they have the arm for it, you know? Mm-hmm. So anyway, but I'm looking, I mean, you know what? It's not stopping me as far as, I'm not thinking, listen, my worst weight was in my 30s. That was my worst weight. So I wasn't in menopause, and I wasn't in perimenopause in my 30s. It was the heaviest. I just gave up. I didn't care. I didn't care what I looked like. I just was living. And now it's like, I want to have fun. I might be a little over 50, but I have a 6-year-old. And I don't want my 6-year-old to say, "Mommy, come play with me." And I'm like, I can't. I don't feel well.
You're bold and brave.
That's right.
to have had a child at that age.
And I don't feel 50. I feel like I'm in my 30s. So
oh my God, I drop it like it's hot, like if I'm 25. Anyway, I want to say hello to Luis Molina Bierzo from España.
Hey, hi.
Bienvenido, Luis. Gracias. Yeah, so.
And hello to Lisa. Lisa's on. And
yes, I said, I think I acknowledged if I didn't. I love you, Lisa. And so, and Jill Wallace from England. Thank you, Jill. How are you? So, I think how we get to lose weight, I stress for me plays a major role in my outer appearance. And I just think it's, you know what, it's breathing through the process. It's accepting where you're at right now. And that's what's been helping me, accepting where you're at right now, loving your body through all the changes, because it is not our body's fault. And we say cruel things to our body, don't we?
Yeah,
we say cruel things to ourselves when we don't fit into a certain thing, or when we look in the mirror, or when TV is showing us with a size 0, that's what society deems perfect. You know, so go look at Ashley Graham's page, because she's beautiful and she's curvy and she's thick. So what I'm saying, there's other ways to celebrate your body, but just celebrate it every day. You know,
of curvy and thick and beautiful, my niece is
yeah. When you're having your morning coffee, you're sitting there, just talk to yourself and take, you know, wherever it is that you want to get to, manifest it. Set your mindset, make that shift happen to where you can get a visual of where you've been before and you like, or where you want to be right now, but love who you are in this moment. Just love every curve, every part of your body, just love it. And it'll start coming off. Your body will appreciate it. When you nurture your spirit will take care of your body. And that's what I find.
Just so you can touch your boobs. Is that why you just said?
I touch my boobs all the time. I love my boobs. Anyone who knows me knows I love my boobs. Don't make me fat you.
Make shift happen.
Make shift happen. You can do that. Not Weight Watchers, not any place that's going to teach you how to change your weight. You could own 5 keto books. What are the other ones? South Beach Diet. I mean, I'm sure many of us already have those cookbooks. Pero ¿de qué vale si mentalmente uno no está preparado? If you're not mentally prepared to say no más, I know where I can be at. I know what I can do. I know what a fucking badass I can be when I am my ideal weight, when I feel like Mary Poppins, that I can just grab my umbrella and just float away. Guess what? It's all within you. Only we can do that. Just love who you are in your moment. When you say, oh my God, I'm so fat, say, but you're beautiful. Just, you know, chase it with a positive. So
it's actually good. So it's a good segue into what we're talking about, because when I was heavier, and when I hit my really low point, my depression, the good thing about it was that I lost like a ridiculous amount of weight in a very short period of time. I don't recommend that, but that's the reality of it. And so I started to feel a little bit better about myself, in that I went to go put on some clothes and I'm like, oh my God, they're loose. And then I had the remember the junk drawer we talked about last week? We saved those clothes that we think we're going to fit into. Well, I happened to, and I put them on and I was like, oh my God, I haven't fit into these in like 6 years. And they were still relevant, the clothes. But then I started to really step up and say, okay, you know what? I'm tired of my style. I can't stand it. So Thursday's conversation, we're going to be talking about clothes, but today's conversation, we're going to be talking about shoes. So one of the things that I did in that interim to make myself feel better was I started to order clothes and shoes. And I have never been that person before. Never, never, never. Especially shoes. Clothes back and forth over years. I would get into it, then I wouldn't, then I get into it. But shoes, I would literally buy, like, I would buy a pair of shoes that would work for me, you know, like flats, comfortable, stylish. If I liked them enough, I would buy them in couple of different colors. And I'd have a pair of sneakers. And when you would go into my closet, I was not typical of a female. I had very minimal stuff, like very minimal stuff. Pair of sandals, or chanclas. I would have like, and that was it. And I wouldn't have like 5 sneakers. I would buy like 1 pair until I wore them out, and then another pair.
Mm-hmm.
When I started to come out of the depression, and started to like try to get myself back, I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna make myself feel better. I'm gonna just buy stuff that makes me feel good. So I started buying shoes, and I did in like a 2-week time frame. I bought like 8 pairs of shoes.
Wow.
They were heels, like weren't even stuff that I hadn't. There was stuff that I hadn't worn, and I bought some like high ass heels, which I look like. You ever see a guy dressed as a woman, and then walk around in heels?
Yeah, yeah.
That's how I looked, it's a clump, kind of deal. So, but then then I calmed it down, and I because I was still trying to find myself. And so then I leveled out to only purchasing the things that I liked, but not holding back, like not saying to myself, oh, I don't need another pair of shoes, or I don't need that. I'm not nuts, like with shoes. Some are, so I wouldn't say that I'm a shoe whore. I'm not a shoe whore. I'm definitely a shoe conservative. But I like what I like, and I'm more. So, did you make your total? How many shoes that you have? Okay.
I have 10 pair of heels, of black heels, 5 pair of wedges, and I have some like brown ones, mostly black, and a pair of beige ones, light pretty beige, and I have 2 pair of sneakers, and I brought my favorites out.
Did you? I didn't even bring anything out.
So we could talk. Now I have shoes that I haven't worn in a while because, being a caregiver for so long, and then 6 months of no caregiving, and then I go back to being a caregiver. It was very sporadic where I had to wear heels. Like for Ajusta Tu Corona, the women empowerment brunch. Good morning, Lillian.
I was just gonna say good time to say good morning to Lillian.
And so for the most part, they're okay. And most of them were here. And I was in Connecticut for a year where I did have like my art show, and I didn't have the right pair of shoes, but I didn't dare buy anything because I would come here. So for my heels, this is my favorite pair.
Well, that's nice. And it's a nice neutral, you could wear it with anything.
Yes. Yeah. And they have the point up front. And so that's my favorite black pair of shoes. My favorite pair of sneakers that everybody hates. So my son went and bought me $200 sneakers just so that I wouldn't wear these, but these are my favorite. And they're my my New Balance. They feels like you're walking on air, and they're old, and they look like clown shoes up front, but they're the most comfortable. And I'm wearing these when I go back to Spain to walk the Camino de Santiago because they're that comfortable. And then, so I have that, and then I have shoes. Mainly, I have like 3 pairs that I don't use. That every time I look at them and I'm about to throw them on, I'm like, yeah, maybe I'll use them, but like just when I'm throwing anything on because they're comfortable. But then they're not, because those are the ones that come up like a round thing in the front, then they finish right by your toe, and then they strap around your ankle.
Yeah.
Well, they're a wide, so I don't know why I bought them a wide, my size, but wide. So when I walk, it goes. Because they're big.
Or your foot slides. Is that what?
Yeah, because they're big. But then the part that encloses over my toes and stops right underneath my toe, they hurt the shit out of my foot in that area. Yeah. So yesterday I threw them out.
Why do we keep shoes that hurt our feet? I don't understand that.
And then I have, so I threw those out yesterday along with the other sandals that the toe part really hurts me. So I threw them out yesterday, and I was going through another purge. And then there's one pair that I can't seem to let go, but I don't wear because the first time I wore them, I hadn't worn heels in almost 6 years. It was in the midst of my caregiving, and prior to that, so I bought them and I wore them, and then I just know that I'm not gonna wear them again. but because of the attachment of, again, this is something with self-love and self-discovery. We need to purge mentally in order to purge physically, right? So there are, and they are these. They're these sandals.
Oh, those are pretty.
Yeah, so, and they're like this. They crisscross over when you go on. And I bought these, and like I said, I wore them once. And I wore them to my husband's funeral. So I don't, good morning, Nancy Harding. Good morning, Oye. So I don't know how to get rid of those yet. I don't know what kind of sentiment I'm holding, that it was just a pair of shoes that I even took off at the cemetery and started walking barefoot in the cemetery because I'm a moon child. I can do that. And so, but that's another thing that I have to go in and discover on myself what's holding me back from just releasing me from those shoes, because they hold a memory, but the memories I hold in my heart. And through purging material stuff, I realized they're never going to go away, because when you have material stuff, you have them saved somewhere. So it's not like they're keeping your memories alive because they're in a box somewhere, you know, they're in the closet. Right. So that's what's been helping me purge. So that's one of the things I have to let go. So yesterday I was going to do it, but I still couldn't. Then I said, you know what, I'm going to use it on the show tomorrow. I'm going to say it out loud. And once I say it out loud, then maybe it'll come back in and it's going to reassure me that it's okay. Get rid of them, donate them, do something.
Good. Yeah, I'm not emotionally attached to my shoes. I have 2 pairs of sneakers. One's for running, and which I don't run, by the way. So one's for running and one's for just like slide on, you know, go. I have 2 pairs of sandals, 2 pairs of fancy sandals, 6 pairs of dress shoes, 8 pairs of boots. I'm a boots person. I love boots. And those are dress boots, and 1 pair of riding boots, like for motorcycle, and 1 pair of work boots. And but you know, here's the problem. Like I love all my shoes. I'm not interested in getting any more. I don't really need any right now because I don't go anywhere. Like that's the other problem. It's like I'm not going anywhere to use them. So even when I'm teaching workshops, like if I go to teach a workshop in, you know, at a facility, mm-hmm. I often take my shoes off when I teach. I teach barefoot. I love being barefoot. Mm-hmm. So what I do have is I have these like fancy little things that go on my feet, you know, so that I could, or fancy little foot socks, you know, or just go barefoot. But any excuse for me to take those off. But sometimes I'll just go with my sandals. Depending if it's the summertime. If it's the wintertime, then I will wear my boots. So for the fancier shoes, I don't wear them all that often. And so that's why I don't buy any more. But the thing that I finally figured out about myself was that I love shoes that are sexy, that I feel sexy in. But at the same time, they have to be comfortable to me. So right, that starts to change as we get older. Like when we were younger, we used to put our feet into stuff and we would be like at the end of the night, can't wait to get them off. But now it's like, I don't want to put something, I don't want to wear something that I'm uncomfortable in or can't walk in properly because it takes away from my sexiness. You know what I'm saying? So as I'm walking, like I bought these very, very pretty this pair of red shoes for this red floral dress that I bought for a wedding. And these shoes were so hot. I mean, they were very pretty. And I ordered them online, and when I got them, they were nice. I mean, they looked so pretty on. Then I started to walk with it. I'm like, oh my God, they don't feel good, you know? So I was like too late to change, you know, for the wedding. So I wore them for the wedding. And I dealt with it the rest of the night. I didn't feel like dancing because they hurt my feet so much. But I couldn't get rid of them. I'm like, I just bought these shoes. I can't get rid of them. I wore them like one other time. Because they were nice, but you could wear them with a pair of jeans. So I wore them one other time. And then finally I was like, you know what? And they sat there for like a whole, like another year. And I'm like, you know what? I can't. They just don't. And then I bought this beautiful pair of blue, it was a sandal dress shoe, but it had this like kick. I mean, the heel was like this big and it had the platform at the bottom. So like you got like 4 extra inches, you know? And that thing looked good and dressy. It looked good with a pair of jeans. but it was so tall that I didn't feel like comfortable walking in them. I felt like I was going to fall over. And I kept them for a little while, and then I was like, okay, I got to just give them away. Because it's like, what's the point? This is what I would do. I would go into my closet. What am I going to wear today? So even if we were just going out like somewhere, with the kids, I would grab my shoes and then I would say, okay, you know what? Ooh, I'm going to wear these. They're really pretty. But, what if I have to chase the little one? Or what if I have to go on grass? Blah, blah, blah. I would talk myself out. I would always go back to the same pairs of shoes. And I'm like, okay, so this is it. I have to identify what to me is feminine, sexy, functional. Like, I want to be able to run if I have to run. If I want to climb on the kids' playground, I want to be able to do that and still have a sexy pair of shoes on, but still do that. So that's why I've honed in on what works for me.
Because whatever it is that you wear, you're the one who makes it sexy. I don't know for anybody. Lillian has 138 pairs of shoes, and I know this. Hello, Toji Belleza Hernandez.
22 total.
And she has them all in boxes. I love to dress up. The other day when I took mom to the doctors, I dressed up the way I love to dress, the way I feel beautiful and powerful in. And I'll give you a quick, maybe you'll understand. I love to wear fitted clothes. I love to show off my waist and my hips because they're my assets and I love them. My hips are wide, so they give the illusion that I have a big ass, but it's just an illusion. But it works for me, So I love that feeling too, depending where I'm at. But normally I love to dress. I don't know if anybody has seen Grace and Frankie on Netflix with Joan Fonda. And
I never watched it. Well, actually, I think I watched a little bit of it one time. I heard it's
well, I am Frankie. I love to dress with the linen baggy dresses and the big chunky jewelry and the rings and all that. And that's where I feel great at. That's where I'm my best and I can walk anywhere. Lillian knows when we were in Colombia, I wore the headpiece and the white linen dress and we just walked through the streets of Colombia and I just feel at ease. To me, that's my sexy. But there are days where, the heels I don't wear unless I'm salsa dancing and I haven't done that in a while. But I love to dress in wedges and then I love to dress with, my linen long dresses and sneakers.
Wedges because they give you the height, but they don't give you the instability of a regular heel. That's why I like wedges. I feel like I could put my foot down on more solid ground with a wedge. Yeah. So that works for me too, because if I use a wedge, then I can be more active. Like I can run a little bit, I can catch up and with my kids. So
I ain't running after no kid. You better get your ass over here or you know what's coming. I ain't running. I believe in whacking that ass when they're out of place. So no, if you make me run to you, you're gonna get it twice as bad. That's it, point blank, period. But okay, so here's the question, mi gente.
So the question,
go ahead.
The questions that we put together today, which we already started answering, but we want to pose them to all of you out there. So put your comments in.
Please.
So, what makes you a shoe whore? So like, is it the amount of shoes that makes a person a shoe whore? Do you even like that? I think it's the funniest term. So it's not meant to be like calling you anything bad. So, and we're allowed to call ourselves whore, nobody else. At what age did you become a shoe whore or become addicted to shoes, if that's a better term? How many shoes do you have? What kinds do you have? What do your shoes mean about you? What do your shoes mean to you? And describe a feeling about your favorite pair of shoes. So I'm going to jump in and say, because I don't have a lot to say about it because I'm not really a shoe whore. I don't think I am. I love shoes. I love shoes. I love looking at them. I love looking at women wearing shoes. I just don't feel the need to buy a lot of them for myself. To me, it's just, I try very hard to be a minimalist individual. So that's across the board. That has nothing to do with shoes. That's everything about me. I minimalize my wardrobe. I minimalize everything. So the addiction for me to liking shoes in the way women do came at 45. Like literally, that's when I started to like it, when I finally let go of my old self and finally realized who I was. And most of my shoes are more functional, but I realized that you can be functional and sexy at the same time. I thought there was a trade-off. And so for me, I always wanted functionality and sporty and that, because that's my personality. But when, or active, should I say, but when I realized at 45 or really 46 that I could have both, like there's both out there. If you look for it, they're both out there. That's when I started to fall in love with shoes. And so what my shoes mean about me is that they show sexy, but they show my personalities. Like I am active. I'm an outdoorsy person. I'm a hardworking person, and I mean, like, I don't mind doing physical labor, but I'm also sexy. So I'm the kind of woman that can be working in the yard, sweaty, dirty, just like hard back breaking work, go in the house, shower, and then put on a hot looking dress and some very pretty heels, and then go out dinner and dancing. Like those are my personalities. So my shoes reflect me, but especially, you said you like the flowing stuff, the flowing clothes, the jewelry.
Always, forever I've been like that.
Yeah, you're more boho, you're more bohemian, gypsy bohemian, and I am as well. That's me as well. And so the shoes have to match that. And a lot of those bohemian shoes are more comfortable. They're more earthy.
They're chunky, yeah,
And they're earthy, and that's how I am. I'm more like earthy, I guess. But if I could put on a hot, sexy pair of shoes in a heartbeat, but those are not my go-tos immediately,
Oh no, let me tell you, at 18, maybe 17, when I became a salsa addict up in New York, I would work in my 3-inch heels. Lillian, I know you know Lillian, just like me, Lillian says she buys the shoe first and then the outfit to go with them. And I was telling Lori yesterday how I choose my shoes and then I work up my outfit to match my shoes. So yeah, and then my cousin's like, no way. I started, I believe, at 15 loving shoes. She's talking to you, Lori.
Good.
The big wedge, that was Tony. And Nancy, thank you. Yes, I've always dressed like that. My kids used to be embarrassed when they were little. Yes, Speedy. So Frankie from Grace and Frankie, that's always been my style. But I would work with Lillian. Lillian, I know you remember, at the phone company in my 3-inch heels. And then I would go home, pick up Tiff. I didn't have Robert yet. And then that in the evening, the weekends, I was out salsa dancing. I didn't drink or smoke at that time. And I would just dance. I wore my 3-inch heels until I was like 7 months pregnant with my son. So it's like, I'm interchangeable. And I love both because the heel makes me feel sexy. It makes my legs contoured, my calves, it does all that. But it makes me feel tall because I'm 5'3". And then the wedge just makes me feel like, I don't like flats. I never like wearing flat shoes. Flat shoes, they make me feel like a weeble wobble. Because I'm short. And I look at people who just wear flats. And I'm like, how do they walk in that? And the flat shoes, it has no support, no nothing. And so I can't wear flat shoes. They have to have some kind of girth to them, whether they're the Crocs that have the comfortable thing or the wedges. But I can't just flat shoes for me are the most boringest thing in the world.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people wear it, but I cannot wear flat shoes. It does nothing for me, for my spirit.
Yeah, I can't, when I say flat in my case, I agree with you. I'm not talking like a sandal. Like if you get like a flip-flop or a chancla that's flat, like the ones that are just like these little just pieces and then you put your feet through your toes through. I can't wear them. They're so uncomfortable. I'd rather be barefoot. So I have to get the ones with a little bit, that has a little bit of foam so that I get a little squishy, squishy stuff on my body, but it could be flat. It could be a flat, but I do like the little wedge, the little.
Yeah, you have to have some kind of support. Iris says that she has a pair of hot platform sandalias from Turkey from 2014. She hasn't worn them, but recently took them out of storage and will wear them this summer.
Yay.
Iris loved the platforms like from the 70s. That was Iris style. Always when we were raising our kids together with the bell-bottom jeans when they came back. And then just to set her wedge style has always been like the 70s. So yeah, so that's been hers. So come on, gente. Tell us, Maria Garcia, what's your favorite shoe style? You know, Lillian says she has 130. Believe me, because I've been in her room. I'm like, what the hell are you gonna do with all these shoes? Some of them you didn't even wear yet, Lillian. And why do you hold on to a? I know I'm not the only one that holds on to a pair of shoes that I don't wear, but I keep they're there. But I'm gonna donate them because somebody should be able to get some.
All right, here's an extra question. How about this? What is the most money you've spent on one pair of shoes or boots? What's the highest you've ever spent? So like put it on there right now. Not sneakers. We're not going to include sneakers because sneakers are crazy and they're commonly expensive. But I'm talking about what is the most you've ever spent on a pair of shoes or a pair of boots to date. And I'm a sale person, so I cannot stand spending full price on something. I'm trying to think what's the most money I've ever spent.
Some of my best shoes I bought them at thrift stores, brand new, but like I have 2 pair of boots here. I was counting my boots. I have 3. One I bought in Connecticut. They're Kenneth Coles, but they come on like a pair of socks and they have the thick, chunky black heel and they're square. I love square toe shoes or super pointy. That rounded shit, just not my gig. And then I bought 2 pairs at the sisters with their proceeds go to stop domestic violence, and they were like $8 on sale at the thrift store. They were brand new. One's brown, one's black, and they have that the whole design of the boot, except for the tip, is the world, the map of the world.
Wow.
I bought it because I was like, how beautiful. Then it has a little side pocket that I can't use because my calf is too fat. I think they make these fucking boots for skinny bitches. So yeah, and I bought them, and I love them, and they're comfortable because they have the chunky heel. My brother says, Mogueto, that he just loves to see a woman dressed like that office look with her heels. Very attractive.
There's a lot of guys that find that attractive with the working, like sort of the suit kind of deal and the heels. Did you get it from that place in Westport? Because that's...
No, the one, it's in Sonia. It's called Sisters. The Sisters.
No, Sisters. No, the other place. The
thrift store. The black pair of boots. I got them from Shelton. The thrift store in Shelton by Big Y on Bridgeport Ave. They be having some nice new stuff. So my cousin Toji says the most expensive were a pair of boots that she paid for $100 for. And then Linda, who just retired, I believe, from a CO. She says, I'm just a boot, sneaker, flip-flop kind of woman, but I love women in heels. My wife has about 100 plus. I'm sure that she does. Yeah. Linda's wife dresses beautifully. And Nancy Harding says her daughter has 120 pairs. That's Heather for you, Nancy. You raised that.
Oh my God. I don't think I've ever spent more than $80 on a pair of shoes or boots. It's not hard to because like, remember when everybody got into the Uggs and all that stuff? Well, some people...
Uggs are disgusting to me.
But they're like $180. They're $180.
My sister likes them. Yeah, I don't. I can't do them. I feel like it just looks like they're house slippers. Nancy Green says she spent $100 at Birkenstocks. Yes, so did my friend Lillian. And guess what, Nancy? She didn't like them. She bought them for a trip she was taking in. And Iris spent $150 on a pair of shoes. The most I spent was American dollars was 95, but it was about 80 or something plus tax. When I was in Spain, right before I was flying into Paris, I bought a pair of black Italian made wedge sandals, and then the 2 things in the front had the bling bling. They had like the diamond, so when you walked it shimmied, but it was a black pair. So much so that on my last day that I was going to take the bus into Madrid, I was talking to Ana Maria from Italy that comes on, and she was still in her Camino garb, and I had gotten my hair done, and I went shopping in Santiago, and I had just this beautiful bright orange throw sweater because it was finally 80 degrees in Spain. And this man, and I had my stick, that was it. So this man who just came out the taxi, he goes to me, "Are you a peregrina?" So I ignored him because I didn't think he was talking to me, because remember, throughout the whole trip, I looked like a freaking homeless person. And then he tapped me, he goes, "Are you a pilgrim?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm leaving now. Today's my last day to come." And he just looked at me up and down. He's like, "Oh my God, I don't know what to say. I love more, your hair or your shoes." And he was from the Canary Islands, and we're still friends up to date. We WhatsApp all the time. He sends me, he's a chef and a carpenter, aside from being like chief of police over there. And
He's everything.
yeah, so he sends me pictures of all his foods he makes on Sundays for the family.
Oh my God, that's funny.
Yeah, so I mean, shoes can start that conversation. And I talk to everybody. So I'm like, yeah, we cuddled up for a picture. Yeah. So yeah. So that's what shoes also, they open up, they're icebreakers. When you go somewhere and you don't know what to say, or someone don't, yeah, they're icebreakers. Like, oh my God, look at those shoes.
Especially for women, especially
Yeah.
men not so much. Men are like, oh, those are a nice pair of shoes. But women are, oh my God, I love your shoes. You know, in fact, I think we say that more than we say about the outfit. Wouldn't you say? Like, if it's either jewelry or shoes, oh my God, I love what you're wearing. Or that you could say, I love what you're wearing, or because I love that necklace, but the shoes really tip it off. Oh my God, those are like really beautiful shoes, you know?
They do. And I think, you know what, and it's awesome. Oh, I'll look at somebody, and if I don't like their shoes, I'm like, oh my God, are those comfortable? I could never see myself wearing it. But I still compliment the shoes and say, they look good on you. I just can't see myself in it. And because that's how I talk, like, let me tell you, my brother sent me a letter, and I'm just going to read the first part of that. And I was like, am I really like that? But fuck it, it's okay. He says, you are raw to the point of offensiveness and unapologetic, and I love it. And I was like, yep, my brother knows me. And that's after reading the book. And so, but you know what? It's still a compliment. I'm actually giving her a better compliment, because she ain't never gonna see me in the same pair of shoes that she has on. But it's just so, when you're talking, when you see somebody and you compliment, it's just so easy to flow and be natural with yourself, and you know, and be intentionally authentic. Oh God, how do you walk in those shoes? I've heard myself say that to people, and those who know me know that I have done that. So I think that shoes are icebreakers. Men love shoes. They'll notice a woman's shoes, and then later on, I've had conversation with a lover, and he goes, remember when I met you, you had those blah blah shoes? I haven't seen you wear them. I'm like, you remembered my shoes? So men love women's shoes. Yes. More so than they care to admit. Good morning, Bridget Williams.
It's sexy, yes. Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah. If there's no, like, nothing that triggered them emotionally, they won't. They wouldn't even notice. But yes, definitely. If it's a sexy pair of shoes, and sexy to them depends on them. So it could be a pair of boots, it could be the slim heel, like, you know, the working shoe. It could be a sandal, but whatever it is, it's, yes, they will remember it if it was sexy to them. Absolutely.
Yeah, but let me tell you that I've met a lot of men on my journey that has told me that they love a woman who, like, with the hiking boots, they love an outdoorsy type of woman that would just, you know, get in and get it, you know. So I mean, there's somebody for everybody, and that's what we got to keep in mind. Sometimes we put ourselves in such uncomfortable situations because we think we look cute. I don't have time for that. I'm not taking one for the team. I have to be comfortable, and if I'm comfortable, then I am fucking phenomenal that day. Wherever we're at,
oh yeah,
I am like magical, and I'm in a good mood. And I think that we all should love our love of shoes, because, you know, we need to tend to our feet, because if there's one thing that's going to carry us through life, it is our feet. So we must be gentle to it. We must be kind to it. We must care for them. We must dress them up so that they look beautiful. I mean, the feet without that, without movement of our feet, who carries us?
Yeah.
You know, so be kind to it. Wear your size. Don't shove your feet in shoes that don't fit, and show them off. Show those feet off. Put those nice shoes on. Your legs come after the fact, but I think to be a shoe whore, it's a great compliment, right? Because that means that you're not only spending all this money on covering up the fleeting beauty, but you're also, you know, you go from top and you go to bottom, and then you nurture and you care give to your feet with beautiful shoes that complement your style and your feet, of course, because you don't want to wear narrow shoes when you have wide feet, right? I've seen a lot of that. I've seen a lot of women with some ugly toes with those corns on it because they shove them in, and I don't have that because I've never settled for discomfort.
Yeah, me either.
I've never welcomed it. I'm gonna be me everywhere I go. And for this pandemic, I haven't shaved. I'm too busy. And the other day I was running to the store with a tank top, and my niece is like, "You're not gonna go out there like that. You haven't shaved your underarms." And I said, "You know what? I'll be that Amazon woman today because I am tending to my business, and it really doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me. My mother always used to say it's just a woman's strength, but my mother was naturally blonde, so you could never see that. But
Oh
anyway, yeah.
That's a different topic, by the way, to shave or not to shave. So that's actually a topic for the future we were talking about.
Oh, yes, exactly. I'm sorry, but hold on. Nancy Wade, welcome. She says, I love my feet with my zapatos. Absolutely. That's her with her heels. Ira said, I love feet. Nancy Green says, I tried the sexy look and gotten a lot of looks, but it's so uncomfortable. Yeah, because you have to go with what?
That's right. You have to decide what makes you sexy. And this is a good segue because we're out of time. We're at the end of the show. But you said something perfect to lead us into our Thursday conversation, Margie, that, you know, when you go somewhere and you dress a certain way and you feel good about what you're wearing and you own it, then you own the day and you feel really good about yourself. So our Thursday's conversation is what do your clothes say about you? And with our guest is going to be real estate agent Francia Rodriguez. And we're going to talk about clothes. We're going to talk about our styles. We're going to talk about why we dress the way that we do. And we could talk about the progression. You know, you might have decided years ago your style, you know, and have been doing that style, that boho gypsy style for years, you know, years and years. And for some, it might have come later, and maybe they transitioned over the years, you know. But being comfortable, whether it's what your shoes that you're wearing or the clothes that you're wearing, if you are aligned with your authentic self and the clothes represent you and the shoes, you rock it no matter where you are. You could always tell when a woman is not comfortable in her shoes, she's not comfortable with her outfit, and she's out.
Absolutely.
And you have the women who are not even wearing anything spectacular, but because of the way that they're walking and the way that they feel about themselves in that outfit, they are like the shining star and they take it from everybody else.
They beam with confidence. It's like be you, like how you're closing. And I when people are like, you feel underdressed? Hell no, I am Margarita. I am never overdressed or underdressed for anybody. I'm always dressed right for me. And I walk in anywhere thinking that. And I wear my comfort clothes because the worst thing to see is a woman fidgeting and tugging at her clothes, right? So that'll be on Thursday. So join us. What do your clothes say about you?
Yes.
On Thursday? It's another great conversation. Nancy Harding says she hates feet. Not me, Nancy. I love when they suck my toes.
And
I love
another conversation.
All right. Thank you to everybody who signed on today. Thank you for taking the time and joining Dr. Lori and I. We love you. We appreciate you. Remember, your taza de café selfie. Remember, hit like, share the video to win a $25 gift card.
Put us on notifications so that you know when we're coming on. That's also really helpful. And yes, you guys, we'll see you on Thursday with our guest, Francia Rodriguez. And hey, listen, join the conversation, share, add more comments even after we close up so that we can get back to you. And thank you so much for coming on today. We really appreciate it. You guys have a fantastic day, and we'll speak to you on Thursday. And remember, be you, be real, and be extraordinary.
Yes, mi gente. Buenos días. Remember, breathe in the beauty and breathe out the bullshit. Have a great afternoon. Yes, Nancy, I'm always crazy.
Bye. Bye.